talk about Solo Leveling's dominance in the Anime Awards this past weekend. The Anime Awards were in 2025. 2025 were in Tokyo this past weekend. And Solo Leveling dominated the competition.
Rumors are
winning, count them. Let's look it up
please,
here.
Please.
Count them. It won 1.
Yes.
2.
Yes.
3.
Yes.
4.
Yes.
5.
Yes.
And 6 of the about 13 or 14 awards.
And
almost half.
What were the main 3?
The main 3?
Yeah. Obviously, Game of the Year.
Anime of the Year was one.
Thank you. Anime of the Year.
Yeah, Anime of the Year, Best Score, Best Character, Best New Series, Best Ending Sequence, Best Action Anime. It won them all. And for some people, they are accusing Solo Leveling of winning because it's overly popular. Now, you as someone that doesn't consume a large amount of anime,
bingo,
was asking me about, hey, is Solo Leveling on the Watchtower?
Wherever it's on.
And I said, yes, it is, both seasons. And he said, okay, you finished it in how long?
Probably a day or two.
2 days.
Maybe 3. I'll say 3 at the most.
Being generous, 3 days.
I had to play games.
But
3 at the most.
For you being a anime casual, sorry.
Easy.
Anime
Easy.
casual.
Whoa. First of all,
anime casual.
I've watched everything that is required viewing.
That
I have seen a gazillion times.
But you're not out there fishing for new stuff. You wait for recommendations, correct?
I have movies to watch and games to play.
No, I hear it. And
maybe you would play more games if you wasn't watching all this puke anime left and right.
Puke?
If it ain't Kakarot, save it.
See, that's casual.
If
that's a casual perspective. Anyway,
it's great.
Do not derail this topic. Anyway, so
derail or disrail?
Derail the topic. Now, so for you to get with a show this fast, it obviously had some punch. It gripped you.
Yes.
How many episodes did it take for you to be like, oh shit, this is?
So as it seems to be a track record of mine. I had a nap from about 1 to 4. But I started watching them at like 1 in the morning or something like that. But then once I went back, kind of like 4 or 5 or 6,
knocked them out
4 or 5 or 6 at a time.
Yeah.
Like so whenever I stopped to watch TV, that's what I was watching.
Oh, okay. All right. So you would say from episode 1, it kind of had you hooked. After you were really able to pay attention.
Yes, because I enjoyed the premise of the show.
Yeah.
I genuinely liked the aspect of, like, hey, you're an S, you're an A, you can work up
the video game aspect of it.
That was pretty awesome to me.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, for the main character, for him to be a bottom tier and, but because of his heart and nobility and sacrifice, given the opportunity.
Sacrifice is right.
Yes, man. Given the opportunity to do the work, and then just me as a viewer, like, man,
it was gripping.
I'm just saying, like, if it was me, like, I saw myself in that, like,
so it resonated with you on that because you were like, okay, yeah,
that's what I would do.
Again, I
can go a little further. I guess I'll keep going, and then I get a little bloop. Hey, Sean, you did great today. Right. Here's a bonus, 10 pounds of muscle and speed or endurance or to your vertical leap or whatever. And I'm like, wow. And it just gives you the incentive to just keep growing and keep going.
Now, this is one for you and everybody else out there. Would you have tapped out from the daily quest that they had?
No,
the punishment quest with the sandworms?
No, I would have knocked them out.
Oh, you would have knocked them out?
Oh, man.
Even from where Jinwoo was at the beginning?
Yeah.
With no extra power. Man, come on now.
Well, no.
That's what I'm saying.
No, I'm saying when he was fighting, what was that? What was the things that killed him?
Oh, the statues.
Yeah.
After that. Okay.
Yeah. After I knew, like for me, if you told me these are the 40 things you have to do in order to be the greatest actor ever, I'm going to do whatever the 40 is to get there.
No, I hear that.
You know, so he had the incentive to keep pushing and to keep growing, and he reached the limits, and for the most part was humble the entire time. Like being the most powerful person in this world and not seeming to have an ego about it. You know, like he had like a great, like a quiet confidence, but it was never like, you know, for him, it was, hey man, like y'all just sit down. Right. I got it. Cause he just didn't want nobody to die.
Right.
You know what I mean? But he was amazing.
Mr. Cam, saying you're surprised to hear that we watched Solo is a great show so far. Why are you surprised? Like, I am an avid anime watcher. Of course I watched it. Oh, I'll let you say that. I can't say that. I'll let you say that. But anyway.
He said so far.
Yeah.
Let's let you know, I don't even think he's even finished it. He talking about so far.
Oh, well.
Okay. And then if he's going off of season 1 and season 2, there's no so far about it. That ant.
Yeah. Beru is ain't no joke. I wish I was there with you. I was like, because I would have told you what was coming. I was like, Beru, when Beru get there, oh man, it's the truth. Anyway, so you know, Solo Leveling is a really good show, but the some people are saying it's undeserved because they feel like it's a overly popular anime, and I feel like the reason why it won was because of its popularity, but it had a unique release window that allowed it to be that, because it won for best new anime. The Anime Awards just happened this past Sunday. Within the past calendar year and a half, Solo Leveling has released 2 seasons. Like the first season came out in January of 2024. The second season came out in January 2025. How it got to qualify as new anime, even though it's 2 seasons in, makes no sense to me. But it did. 24 episodes, split into 2 seasons, and great action, great animation,
good story,
great character design. Oh, by the way,
the great score,
not just great score. By the way, it didn't win just for best new anime, best action series. It also got best English or best dubs. It got the best dub. Like all the dubs, like the English dub, the Cantonese dub, like all the dubs, it got the best dub too. Which is crazy. So, and it was against okay, I'm gonna read off for those of you out there. I'm gonna read off. This is the list of anime that it was up against for Anime of the Year. Dan, which I thought was going to win. Freiren, which I thought was going to win. Apothecary Diaries, which I thought was a serious Anime of the Year contender. Solo Leveling, I knew was going to be on the list, but I didn't think it would win because it's an action show. Action shows typically never win Anime of the Year. Solo Leveling did.
Has anything in
Kaiju number 8?
That Kaiju number 8,
you know, was
a good watch.
Yeah, that's a great. These are all great shows.
In your, we'll say in the last 5 years, of your anime watching, has anything been that popular?
No,
had that type of buzz?
No. Which is again why I understand why it won, because Solo Leveling has what it takes to be a crossover hit, right? For most casual, and I'm sorry, I have to say it, for most casual anime watchers, especially young black males, there is nothing that gets them to watch anime faster than throwing hands.
Well, no, I can tell you if there's some bare breast.
Oh,
in
there's
there.
that too. There's that too. There's that too. But throwing hands is reason why Dragon Ball has persisted as long as it has.
Nobody wants to see all this talking and dragging out.
Exactly. Right.
Let's go.
Exactly. So when Solo Leveling does this and it has a decidedly RPG / video game slant to it,
Come on, man.
that people are going to want to resonate with, that's why it won. So I totally get that. Does it deserve it?
Yes.
Some people will say no, it should have been One Piece. Or as Preem was saying before, he feels like this was an anti-One Piece vote. Here's the other thing, right?
1,000 episodes, 1,200 episodes.
Yeah.
This brings
It
more
brings the
eyes,
eyeballs.
and that's
to your
what
point,
they want, the eyeball.
To your point, it has dethroned One Piece as the most highest rated Crunchyroll property. And it did it in far less time.
So what are we talking about?
I don't know. It did it in far less time. So I mean,
it took 1,200 or 1,000 episodes for One Piece to do, it did it in 24.
One Piece has done it, has ridden the wave, has been at the top of the pyramid for years.
That's because Solo hadn't came out yet.
All it takes,
get off the top.
All it takes is that one popular anime to dethrone. Now, does that mean One Piece is less of a show? Obviously not. It's got its fans. The One Piece
That's the
season
Monkey
2.
King, right?
Yeah, Luffy.
I hate that show.
Why?
Because he's not the king of anything.
Oh wow, he's the king of the pirates.
What? Who? Them 3 people that are his friends? That's why I've never understood it. Like, what is he the king of?
Yeah, I guess so.
Don't be like that.
Don't be like that. Okay,
I'm just saying. What is he the king of?
I mean, honestly, man, the show deserves its flowers because it is a super popular anime, and I know it's good. This is my barometer for if a show is good.
Okay.
Here's how I rate how good a show is or a new IP is. How fast it can get me to read the manga because I can't wait. I need to have it all. Solo Leveling did that in 3 episodes. Like after watching 3 episodes, I sought out the manga and blitzed that thing just like you did in 2 days. I blitzed it in 2 days. I didn't sleep.
Was it better?
Oh,
than the anime?
I mean, it just gave me the story.
It
gave me the story.
Gotcha.
Now, as a webtoon, it is a phenomenal webtoon. It's probably the most popular webtoon on the planet right now.
What is a webtoon?
Webtoons are serialized online comics that basically people they're not in book form. They literally are just released digitally. Online. Yeah. So they're completely original. They don't have any web novel source. They don't have any light novel source. They're completely original from the creation of their creators. So it's literally just a comic that's released online. Solo Leveling is probably the most popular webtoon on the planet going right now. Tower of God used to have that. Solo Leveling took its crown.
So why wouldn't it win all the awards?
I'm not saying it's not worthy. I'm not saying it's not worthy. It is very worthy. And man, when I tell you, there is so much more coming. Like down the line.
So how far are you then?
Where season 2 ended is probably the end of the. If you would consider Solo Leveling something in 4 arcs, that's the end of the 2nd arc.
And you've read 4 of them already.
I've read all of Solo Leveling.
Oh, so for you, you're done.
I'm done with Solo
You're just
Leveling.
waiting on the anime
I'm waiting
to
the
catch
animation.
up.
Yes, I'm done. I've been done for over a year. Over a year, I've been done.
So you have this digitally.
Oh yeah, I got it. It's all online. I've read the story. It is a phenomenal story, and I'm telling you what's coming next. Woo!
Somebody better than that ant.
Woo! Yeah. The enemies get even harder.
But then he has all of the people that he's beat. That ant.
He gets
that Red Knight. Oh man,
it gets
I'm excited.
even crazier.
I'm excited.
So here's the other thing about that, right? The other thing about Solo Leveling is the creator recently came out because you know you don't know. Obviously, you don't know. It has a sequel already, and the webtoon for the sequel is already out. It's progressing. It's currently publishing.
They just had to find somebody to do the animation, right? That was for season 3.
But I'm just saying, no. What I'm saying is the manga, the webtoon, has a sequel already. Solo Leveling Ragnarok, which follows his son. He's gonna have a son, and he takes up the son becomes the main protagonist.
Even though his dad is in the show as well,
yes.
or is in the manga.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's gonna have a son. Jinwoo's gonna have a son, and it follows his son. The creator of Solo Leveling said, "What you're watching, what I read, is a prologue."
Oh.
I mean, what does that tell you? He says he's got so much more coming.
As long as it's
good.
Well, as long as it was all in his head at the same time.
Oh yeah,
like usually,
it's good.
Yeah. Usually when they get something that's based off the success,
I'm telling you, it's good.
Okay.
It's going to be great. So now I don't know what other people are going to say about Solo Leveling didn't deserve best character because Jinwoo won best character. I don't know what they're going to say about best score because it won best score.
I enjoyed the score.
I mean, but over some of the songs and things that were out here, it was hard for me to believe that it won, but it did because, man, it's
gotta give the people what they want.
Yeah, you do got to give the people what they want, and I'm sure this is Solo Leveling is approaching, if it hasn't surpassed Demon Slayer yet, it's rapidly on that ascent.
So I have a question about
that. Go ahead.
No, not about that. Just as far as anime for you all, right?
Yeah.
So if I would be considered a casual,
yes,
right?
Yeah.
Now where it's at now, where you've got half naked women on Twitter talking about me or the anime or this is what I read, and now everyone seems to be assimilating.
Mm-hmm.
To anime,
mm-hmm.
whether it's marketing, whether they're trying to get some kid to come goon on their OnlyFans, whatever the case may be. Yeah. How does that, and then now with the result of, with the accolades that Solo Leveling received, does that tarnish your what it's supposed to? Does it take away some of the purity of when you fell in love with anime 20, 30 years ago?
No, not at all. Because the fandom is what it is, right? Whether it was, the fandom is always going to have its perverse members. I mean, we've had that since going back in the day with the Slave Leia costumes, with Star Wars, the advent of cosplay with comic books back in the late 90s, early 2000s, where you had girls dressing up, a sexy, Spider-Man or Spider-Girl, Batgirl, costumes, Pokemon and stuff like that.
Right.
That side is always going to be there, right? That side it has nothing to do with the product itself, right? You can always separate those people that are out there looking to cater to the lowest common denominator. You don't necessarily have to associate yourself with that, right? The way I look at it, whether you're a casual or not, I've always looked at fandom as this isn't a gatekeeping type thing for me, right?
Okay.
There's enough anime for everybody out there. You don't have to play favors and say, oh, well, you're not a real fan if you don't watch Ninja Scroll, or you're not a real fan if you haven't watched Project Echo, or you're not a real fan if you haven't grown up watching the original Berserk, not the new one, or the original Ranma 1/2 and not the remake. You're all an anime fan. It doesn't matter where you get in. It matters that you're in. Okay. Now, some people may not go out of their way to watch subs because you're always on the lookout for new shows to watch. Some people are more like saying, I'll just wait for new shows to be fed to me. Okay. I'm not going to go out looking for them. That's kind of why I say you're a bit of a casual in that. That's fine. In that you don't go out seeking the shows, but if someone tells you about a show, you'll watch it.
Oh
right?
yeah, it had a lot of motion, man.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas me, I don't get enough of watching new anime shows. I'm at my anime list looking at new releases for the next season and what's coming up and picking what I'm going to watch next season, right? Other people aren't doing that, right? But that's what makes me more of a fan, more of an enthusiast than other people, right? So no, it doesn't tarnish it for me.